In this episode of Remember This Nostalgia, Cousin Skeeter is an American children's sitcom that originally aired on Nickelodeon from 1998 to 2001. Damn, this cartoon hits home. I randomly just remembered this one day because that fucking theme song is golden. There's no theme song like it, especially during that time on Nickelodeon. I really feel like this was a black network at this time and era of Nickelodeon because you had Little Romeo show, Cousin Skeeter, Keaton and Kel.
Oh, here goes.
Little JJ, and plenty of more. But this show in particular was the show to watch. Man, I remember first time seeing Megan Good on this TV show. I was starstruck. From that day on, I already knew I had my favorite crush and celebrity crush as a little kid. But this show had Robert Richard, Rondell Shadian, Angela Means, Bill Bellamy, Megan Good, and Drew Massey. Now, one thing I did not know about this TV show that Cousin Skeeter was voiced by a white guy. I have no problem with it, but it's so funny when doing research on these shows and do deeper dives. Yeah, man, this TV show was so relatable at the time too, and so funny because like, who's not getting in trouble with their favorite cousin all the time? And that's such a common thing. I think for the black community that sometimes you might have a cousin that might live with you or vice versa. And the show was just bomb. It was just bomb. Cause like the theme song was hip hop. It was like a hip hop R&B. Then you had like an all black cast, which I never seen before on Nickelodeon. And plus, come on, what puppet was doing backflips and breakdancing during this time? Elmo wasn't doing that on Sesame Street, and Big Bird damn sure wasn't. So come on, this definitely was an iconic show, whether if you agree or not. The writing may not have been there all the way, but the intent was all the way there. But comment down below what was your favorite episode and or part of Cousin Skeeter. This is legit a 90s kids show. You were not alive if you did not see the show. But yeah, man, I love this show so much. I used to run in the house when I used to hear this theme song come on. I used to go to school singing the theme song with my friends, along with Taina theme song. I'm telling you, Nickelodeon was so hip hop and black and Latino. Like, it was such a great time and era of Nickelodeon. Because once that ended with Avatar Last Airbender, Cartoon Network just took over. And Nickelodeon were producing really shitty shows. But overall, we shall never see a show or sitcom like this again, but it's okay because we can always go back and watch our favorite show. But thank you for watching. Remember this nostalgia. Until we meet again, peace. On this episode of Remember This, who does not remember this classic show? Taina is an American teen sitcom created by Maria Perez Brown and starring Christina Nidal. It aired on Nickelodeon from January 14, 2001 until May 11, 2002. Guest star Taina London as Jackie. Unfortunately, in June 2022, Nickelodeon announced that Taina was canceled after 2 seasons, despite big ratings, according to Josh Cruz. Pretty much after this sitcom, Nickelodeon started to go into a dark age. The only show that was keeping Nickelodeon afloat at the time was Avatar: The Last Airbender. But yeah, as a kid, I loved this show. I used to have a friend named Taina. When this show came out, I was a little kid, probably like fourth grade, third grade. Every time I used to see her, I used to sing the song, and she used to hate it. I also feel that Nickelodeon and the creators of this show did a awesome job representing the Spanish community. At the time, there really was not that many Spanish sitcom shows on kids' networks, and Taina was the show to break that. But as a kid, you're not looking at it from a race point of view, you're looking at it from a relating point of view. As Taina is growing up, she encountering real world issues that teenage girls go through. And at the time, I'm pretty sure this was really helpful towards a lot of teenage girls that were watching the show. But most importantly, I loved how they showed that her family was always there for her regardless of the situation.
What's the matter, Taina? Some boy broke your heart right now?
No, Titi, it's not about a boy. It's my drama teacher, Mr. Colon. He doesn't think I'm talented.
And this is so important because with any culture of anyone, family is very important to have your back. And this is a very relatable subject and topic. So this alone sets Taina apart from every other show they showed on Nickelodeon at the time. And let alone family, you can never forget having good friends. Taina's best friend Renee Aretha Jones is an aspiring comedian and rapper. Like, come on, that is so dope. Before Little Romeo came around, you did not see rapping like that on Nickelodeon. But this show right here definitely showcased that, and that is so cool.
You're only mad because you know that I am better than you.
You be frontin' that you don't care, you don't stare. Be peeping at my man and the clothes I wear, deny and lie. I know you do, you know it's true. Can't stand me and it's eating at you.
This is such a nostalgic show. It makes you feel good, makes you want to laugh, cry, and so much more. Hopefully this show sees the day of light again, like how Full House, That's So Raven, and a few other shows got remakes. Nickelodeon may never have that kind of sitcom run again, but we can all go back and relive and enjoy these heartwarming, feel-good moments. I want to thank everybody for watching this episode of Remember This. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you can. Until we meet again, peace.
When I was a child, I wondered what my life would be. When I lost my way, my dreams were always there to guide me. Was insecure and sometimes had my doubts. But when I start to lose my faith, a voice inside me shouts, no, I can't wait to see my name in lights. No one's gonna stop me. You'll see I will go far.
What's your name?
Taina.
Someone once told me the grass is much greener on the other side. Well, I paid a visit. While it's possible I missed it, it seemed different yet exactly the same. Yeah.
On this episode of Remember This Nostalgia, as told by Ginger, is an American animated comedy drama. The series focuses on a junior high school girl named Ginger Foutley who is with her friends, tries to become more than a social geek. Now, this was a really game changer show. This wasn't like a real person sitcom where you have real life people. This was an animated comedy drama sitcom that you can fully relate to at the time, even now, as a preteen high schooler. All of the emotions and events and drama and anything that can occur within high school of being a preteen would definitely happen in the show. One episode in particular, when Macy wants to sing the Little Seal Girl theme song at the talent show with Ginger and Duty. But Ginger and Duty feel that they're getting too old for it because they hear other girls talking about it in high school and it's not cool. They don't want to be geeks.
So Macy, she does it anyway. Even after Ginger and Duty told her about it and warned her that it could mess up her social life. And a topic like that is so relatable because coming out of 8th grade, going to a higher grade, which is called high school, you still tend to do some kiddish things. You might still watch kiddish shows, or to other people might be considered kiddie shows. And as a kid, when I watched this, that meant a lot to me because that says that even if somebody else don't totally agree with you or don't like what you don't like, that don't mean stop being yourself. And Macy definitely did not stop being herself, and she took that leap of faith and she sang that song.
I'm a little seal girl living in a real world, and it's so hard to get by, 'cause seals can't even cry.
Miranda? Is it me? Or is there something terribly endearing about her?
But in this endless, boundless sea, is there no one who looks like me?
And I knew from that moment day on that I loved the show. The show tackled a lot of real world issues that teenagers were going through and still are going through, like depression, heartbreak, death, not being friends with your best friend anymore, arguments, how to approach your best friend about a serious issue. All these things are all combined inside this wonderful, planned out masterpiece of a show. One episode in particular tackled the topic of depression, titled "And She Was Gone," when Ginger reads a poem.
She wished too hard, some say she wished too long, but we awoke one autumn day to find that she was gone. The trees, they say, stood witness. The sky refused to tell. But someone who had seen it said the story played out well.
This show gave me the chills every time I watched it, but in a good way, because it will always hit home, and it always helped me learn about topics that I would never taught at home or in school, like depression. This helped me really fully understand what it was. This is such a nostalgic show, and this is something that they need to bring back because a lot of kids need this, especially after COVID. But one duo that is undefeated is Carl and Hoodsie. These two are always up to some scandalous schemes throughout the show. Kind of remind me of Carl inside of the Shameless TV show, if you haven't seen it.
Hey beams, yummy yum, it's an Easter bunny day!
Beams? Did he just say jelly beams?
Rhymes with creams.
There's no such thing as a jelly beam, Carl. Besides, he's way too over the top. We're gonna lose out on repeat business.
That's okay. We got orders coming out of our ears.
These two are always coming up with schemes, but they also go through tough and traumatic times just like Ginger herself. So this show isn't just from a girl's point of view. Young boys and teenage boys can also relate to the show. But this was such a classic show. I don't think another cartoon or animation probably could reach this type of success in reaching millions of hearts all around the world. This show has so much to relate to that they might as well have made a movie out of it during this time because it totally felt like one with each episode. But I definitely want to thank everybody for watching. Remember this nostalgia. Please like, comment, subscribe. Until we meet again, peace.
Cause I'm a little seal girl living in the real world, and it's so hard to get by, 'cause seals can't even cry.
Everybody out there, go run and tell your homeboys and homegirls it's time for Keenan to Kill. We keep you laughing in the afternoon, so don't touch that dial or leave the room, cause they always into something in the front and you don't want to miss it. It's up okay like Too Legit Radius. Keenan the Killer, should have say Kelly Keenan, and you gotta watch Keenan, cause Keenan be scheming with a plan or a plot to make it to the top, but they always in the middle, cause they always getting caught. This ain't the Hardy Boys or a Nancy Drew mystery. It's just Keenan and Kel in your vicinity, like Siegfried and Roy, or Abbott and Costello, Magic and Kareem, or Penn and Teller. Somebody's in trouble. Oh, here it goes on Knit.
On this episode of Remember This Nostalgia, Kenan and Kel is an American sitcom created by Kim Bass. The show originally aired on Nickelodeon Network for 4 seasons from July 15th, 1996 to July 15th, year 2000. A lot of you guys may know them from the TV series All That.
Stop, look and watch. Ready yet? Get set. It's All That.
And from All That came Kenan and Kel, the iconic duo, the schemester, and the friend who just not quite there yet. But both of them combined created the perfect iconic duo and the funny, loving chemistry they both had. Kenan and Kel is such a nostalgic show, especially to me. When I was growing up, I used to love watching this TV show. Couldn't even pull me away from the TV when it came on. These two were so funny, especially Kel, when he were addicted to orange soda. I never seen nobody who loved orange soda that much. I mean, I love soda, but goddamn, this man was crazy for it. But yeah, Kenan, he really was showing a lot of his acting skills that you see today, that you really see on Saturday Night Live. But both of them together make the perfect combo. Funny thing about this TV show was Kenan's sister, Kyra. Yeah, Kyra. If you remember her, she was obsessed with Kel. Wherever he went, she went. And she was not letting anybody get next to him without her approval.
He's so cute.
That's my little sister, Kyra.
And this is my boyfriend, Kel.
I already know Kel.
Oh yeah? Well, back off!
Who's played by Vanessa Batten. She was such an important piece to this TV show. She brought a lot to the table and a lot of energy to every episode that she was in. I loved it. I didn't have a little sister growing up, but watching this show, I could imagine how stressful it can be. Kenan and Kel later on went to do Good Burger movies.
Delivery! Shine!
Later on in their career, but we will always know them for Kenan and Kel. Please comment down below on what was your favorite episode of Kenan and Kel, and do you think you got outdrink Kel with orange soda? I also love how they portray black families, and I also love how they show how strong and connected and how their black families are for each other. Roger, who is the father inside Kenan and Kel, who is played by Ken Ford, he is such a fantastic soul. He shows that he's caring, and I love that they always have him there and they didn't kill him off like how they normally used to do in black sitcoms back in the 90s.
No salt.
Why not?
Salt makes me puffy.
Go to the left. Go to the left. There you go. You gotta go into hyperdrive. What are you doing? Come on, man. Press the button.
Oh, Daddy, you have to go into the dungeon.
Maybe Daddy likes being in the dungeon.
Yeah, but I'm...
Ken Ford character Roger is among the list of cool dads of TV, along with Uncle Phil, Carl Winslow, Flex, and many, many more. But out of all of these fabulous, wonderful things, let's not forget the theme song. They have Coolio, Gangsta Certified Coolio, singing the theme song. Like, this was so hip hop. Like I said in my past few videos, this when Nickelodeon basically was a black. Comment down below if you could rap all the lyrics to this song. But thank you for enjoying. this piece of nostalgic history with me. Please like, comment, subscribe. Until we meet again. Peace.
Oh, here it goes. Everybody out there, go run and tell your homeboys and homegirls it's time for Keenan and Kel.
I'm sorry, Katara.
On this episode of Remember This Nostalgia, Avatar: The Last Airbender, Nickelodeon's Golden Child. I remember when this cartoon came out around 2004-ish, 2005, and man, this blew my mind. At the time, I was only accustomed to Toonami, where they showed Boondocks, and Dragon Ball Z, Naruto, Baby Blues, and so forth. I was not used to this style of animation. It caught my eye immediately, and the storyline is unbeatable. Siblings Katara and Sokka wake up young Aang from a long hibernation and learns he's an avatar whose airbending powers can defeat the evil Fire Nation. Now that synopsis alone is enough to really make you want to watch this show. I know, to a lot of you that may sound like your average cartoon or your average show. Hero comes, saves the day, everybody loves them, but not with this storyline. Just because Aang was the Avatar, everybody did not like this young man because of the simple fact that he was gone for 100 years. Now, he has to wait for a comet to come so he can defeat Lord Ozai, who is now the Fire Lord of the Fire Nation. But man, so much emotion is behind this cartoon. There are so many tear-jerking moments in this show. When I was a kid, I feel like I was wiping my face from crying more than watching a show. Now that I am an adult and I'm watching this on Netflix again, man, my heart is pouring out for each and every single one of these characters. The character development in this show is unbelievable. Each new person that they introduce in this show has a strong background and a strong storyline. The closest show that I can honestly say that can reach the type of emotion and level of success is Dragon Ball Z. I love Dragon Ball Z, from Dragon Ball to Dragon Ball Z to Kai to GT. But there is something totally spiritually different about Avatar: The Last Airbender. Now, each episode is a story. It's not rushed. It doesn't feel like they're just trying to hurry up and get to the next season. This all feels all organic. Each character you can relate to, like Aang, or Zuko, or Katara, or Sokka, or Appa, or Momo, or Toph. But one character that I can totally relate to, Zuko. Because I feel that my family banished me at one point in my life. And I felt like I was so angry all the time. Like I had to prove myself to show that I'm honorary to my family and so forth. Like how he was going out his way to look for Aang, not even knowing if he was still alive or not. And with Zuko going down a path of destruction, later down in his life in the show, he sees, with the help of his uncle Ira, that destruction isn't always the key. Anger isn't always the key. His character development is one of the best in the show, hands down. But this masterpiece of a show a nostalgic era of cartoons that you can relate to and gravitate to probably won't ever happen again. Am I mad? No, because I can always go back and rewatch these beloved shows. Like the fight scene with Fire Lord Ozai and Aang. This was one of the most intense scenes I've ever seen in my life, even more intense than the Buu saga for Dragon Ball Z. Now, Aang could have killed Ozai, but he didn't. So much growth showed of this young man in this show. And that shows that anybody can have growth. Thank you for watching. Remember this nostalgia. Please like, comment, subscribe. Till we meet again. Peace.